At 62, Johnny Depp unexpectedly broke his silence with an admission that stunned Hollywood, a truth that millions of fans had sensed for years was finally spoken by him, calmly but powerful enough to shift the way the world views his life and the real person behind the spotlight. The familiar smiles, the legendary roles, and even the upheavals that once buried him turned out to be only the surface of a much deeper story. Let us step into the journey of uncovering what he has just revealed. Johnny Depp entered 2026 with an admission that drew public attention. He had once held the position of the highest paid actor in the world, earning $75 million United States dollars in a single year, but that period did not bring him any sense of belonging within the Hollywood environment. Johnny Depp's career surged dramatically when he portrayed Jack Sparrow in the Pirate franchise. The series earned more than $45 billion USD worldwide. Love, that is a dinghy. My vessel is magnificent and fierce and huge, and brought Johnny Depp hundreds of millions, establishing him as the embodiment of the studio's expectations. Alongside the Jack Sparrow brand, Johnny Depp built a long-term creative partnership with director Tim Burton. From Edward Scissorhands to Sweeney Todd and Alice in Wonderland, the eccentric roles became defining marks of Johnny Depp's acting style across many years. Alice in Wonderland passed the $1 billion USD global box office milestone, reinforcing Johnny Depp's status among the most sought-after actors. The combination of commercial pull and artistic individuality positioned him as the face of high-impact studio projects. Parallel to his film career, Johnny Depp's personal life shifted toward a distinctly extravagant level, purchasing a private island worth $6 million United States dollars, reflected his desire for seclusion during an overloaded period and illustrated the scale of his spending habits. Johnny Depp also built a wine collection valued in the tens of millions. The tendency to spend heavily on luxurious items along with continuous travel made his financial structure increasingly complex and prone to disputes over time. The peak years also marked Johnny Depp's use of private jets for transportation between filming locations. This optimized his work schedule and raised the cost of maintaining his lifestyle significantly, adding long-term financial pressure. The relationship between Johnny Depp and his financial management team fell into major dispute when he sued them over a $25 million United States dollars loss. The case revealed a lack of transparency in asset management and explained the levels of stress he faced after many years of artistic labor. In his latest reflections, Johnny Depp admitted that he once believed money could solve every problem. This belief emerged during a period when he consistently accepted major roles and earned far more than most actors of his generation. Continuous success pushed Johnny Depp into a relentless work cycle. He moved from one large project to another with no time to examine the changes occurring within his own emotional life. Johnny Depp's public image was consistently tied to confidence and charisma. He admitted this perception did not match his internal experience as emptiness gradually became a familiar feeling. The accumulation of many factors over the years created early fractures even at the height of his career. Johnny Depp described this as a period when the surface of success concealed many unresolved shadows. He concluded that material prosperity created only temporary satisfaction. When facing himself, Johnny Depp realized fame could not replace the need for emotional stability, something he had never prioritized sufficiently. Those fractures soon opened the path toward collapse when Johnny Depp entered the period of addiction and scandal. The downfall. Johnny Depp entered a period of turbulence as uncontrolled behaviors gradually appeared from the late 1990s. These troubles formed while he still maintained the image of a distinctive artist but lacked the stability needed to balance work and personal life. In many incidents, Johnny Depp was recorded assaulting hotel security staff and causing property damage. These events created a contrast between professional success and off-screen behavior, leading the public to notice signs of instability earlier than he acknowledged. Johnny Depp also had to pay large compensation after damaging a hotel room when Kate Moss was present. The incident was documented in legal records showing impulsiveness during moments influenced by substances and prolonged tension. According to later accounts, Johnny Depp admitted he once lived with the mindset of a real pirate. The idea of artistic freedom tied to alcohol and drugs led him into a self-destructive lifestyle. This assessment reflects his delayed awareness of the consequences of those actions. During this period, the 14-year relationship between Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis played the role of his only emotional anchor. They had 2 children, Lily Rose and Jack. Johnny Depp described this as a period almost the happiest he ever experienced. Johnny Depp acknowledged he missed many moments of fatherhood due to his indulgent lifestyle. Drunken nights caused him to lose time with his family. This left him with a prolonged sense of regret, especially when looking back at childhood images of his children. Signs of substance dependence became more serious during the final stage of his relationship with Vanessa Paradis. Family fractures created conditions for internal issues to expand from emotional instability to growing reliance on stimulants. After separating from Vanessa Paradis in 2012, Johnny Depp entered a more vulnerable phase. His work remained at a high level, but personal balance declined. Financial sources also began noting irregularities in his asset management. Johnny Depp simultaneously faced lawsuits involving financial managers. Reports indicated tens of millions of dollars in losses, sparking debate over his ability to control spending. These lawsuits exposed increasing financial pressure. Among these issues, Johnny Depp was said to have uncontrolled spending on wine, real estate, and transportation. Legal documents showed he once maintained monthly expenses in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, creating long-term strain on his finances. The bad boy image that once contributed to Johnny Depp's appeal gradually turned into a burden as age and professional pressure increased. Rebellion no longer aligned with his reality. This created a sharp gap between the admired public persona and the unstable private life he experienced. Having once succeeded with eccentric roles, Johnny Depp gradually blurred the line between character and real life. His indulgent lifestyle led him to believe he could escape consequences, though legal issues showed the opposite. In 2025 accounts, Johnny Depp said he once believed rebellion represented artistic freedom. Upon reflection, he stated that lifestyle only weakened his emotional support system and caused severe damage to his family relationships. The public also noted that Johnny Depp's problems did not only arise from work pressure but from the absence of personal boundaries. Early impulsive behaviors soon developed into a chain of serious consequences, directly linked to long-term stability. Years spent under the influence of substances gradually compromised Johnny Depp's emotional control. This factor intensified minor conflicts. Incidents with security staff and paparazzi were therefore seen as inevitable outcomes. This period also witnessed a decline in his work performance. Although he continued taking significant roles, Johnny Depp struggled to maintain consistent quality. Rumors regarding a lack of focus began to circulate within production circles. At that moment, the arrival of Amber Heard opened a chain of events that pushed Johnny Depp to his lowest point. The litigation nightmare. Johnny Depp entered the most turbulent period of his life when his marriage to Amber Heard rapidly shifted into a state of conflict. Tensions emerged in quick succession from differences in behavior, lifestyle, and allegations related to violent conduct. This became the foundation for a chain of events that led to years of prolonged litigation. The marriage ended in 2017, but the consequences did not stop at the divorce proceedings. Amber Heard made public statements claiming abuse, generating widespread attention. These articles and declarations placed Johnny Depp in a constant defensive position amid sharply polarized public opinion. The allegations were quickly amplified through the media, pushing Johnny Depp to face pressure far beyond the scope of his personal life. His professional image was clearly affected, as many film studios began to scale back collaboration. These impacts stemmed from concerns over media risk rather than legal conclusions. In his latest disclosures, in 2025, Johnny Depp stated that he felt like a crash test dummy for the Me Too movement. This remark reflected his experience of being publicly judged before having the opportunity to fully present evidence. The defamation lawsuit became the center of international debate, from the initial trial in the United Kingdom to the live stream trial In the United States in 2022, Johnny Depp consistently presented evidence such as audio recordings, text messages, and testimonies from close associates. These materials were intended to challenge the earlier allegations. The live stream trial in the United States created a global media phenomenon. Millions followed the proceedings live, leading to the analysis of every detail, involving attorneys, witnesses, and even the reactions of both parties. Johnny Depp had to maintain his stance while simultaneously facing relentless public scrutiny. The professional consequences became evident when he lost roles in the Pirates of the Caribbean and Fantastic Beasts franchises. Studios announced decisions based on media risk, causing his income to decline sharply. This marked a turning point that directly affected a financial structure already under strain from prior disputes. In many interviews throughout 2025, Johnny Depp revisited feelings of isolation. He described nights spent alone crying because he could not control what was happening. His psychological state dropped to its lowest point when he even thought about ending everything. This was a form of mental trauma that left long-lasting marks. When the U.S. trial concluded, Johnny Depp achieved a significant legal victory. The verdict confirmed that the accusations damaging his reputation did not have the basis previously portrayed. This win restored his legal standing, though the effects of the previous years remained. Even after winning the case, Johnny Depp continued to face challenges in rebuilding his career. A segment of Hollywood maintained a cautious attitude due to concerns about public reaction. This was reflected in the limited progress of major projects in the post-trial period. The process of restoring his image unfolded slowly and carefully. Johnny Depp's spirit improved as he regained respect from many colleagues. Artists who had previously worked with him publicly spoke about positive experiences. These expressions of support helped him recover part of the confidence he had lost during the crisis. A notable point was the shift in how Johnny Depp approached his work. He no longer prioritized blockbuster projects and instead turned toward independent artistic activities. This perspective stemmed from his desire to control his creative journey rather than be driven by revenue pressure. Although the evidence presented in court brought legal victory, Johnny Depp acknowledged that the psychological impact was extremely difficult to heal. He stated that the damage to trust and personal image would require a long time to mend. This formed an important part of the healing process after the crisis. The legal battle with Amber Heard altered how Johnny Depp viewed his career, relationships, and the nature of fame itself. Becoming the center of global media attention made him recognize how fragile reputation can be when confronted with unverified accusations. This multi-year ordeal laid the groundwork for the next phase of transformation. Johnny Depp chose to step away from the Hollywood machine to recover and restructure his personal values. This was a crucial preparation for a shift toward a calmer life. The process of inner recovery allowed Johnny Depp to reassess his entire past journey. Mistakes, losses, and disputes were regarded by him as necessary lessons to shape a new phase. This transformation created the foundation for important decisions in the years ahead. After overcoming the courtroom battles, Johnny Depp entered a period in which rebirth became increasingly evident. Withdrawing from media attention and focusing on art became his central choice. This directly set the foundation for the powerful transformation in the next chapter of his life. From here, the story transitions to the journey of rebirth and the peaceful life that Johnny Depp built after the upheaval. A peaceful life. The quiet atmosphere in Somerset created conditions for Johnny Depp to reorganize his personal priorities. Staying away from meetings, events, and the media limited the accumulation of stress built up over many years. This period of distance formed a foundation for mental recovery. Johnny Depp spent more time on painting. During this phase, the Let the Light In collection reflects his approach to art as a tool for emotional release and reconstruction. Painting is personal in nature and gives him full control of the creative process. Focusing on painting allowed Johnny Depp to lessen his dependence on large Hollywood projects. Actively shaping his artistic direction offered professional freedom that contrasted sharply with the period when he had to maintain box office expectations. Johnny Depp continued his musical activities with Hollywood vampires, sustaining an artistic space separate from cinematic pressure, smaller shows, and flexible schedules preserved steady creative energy. Music functioned as an essential component of inner balance. Beyond music and painting, Johnny Depp returned to directing with the project Modi. This step reaffirmed his creative ability behind the camera. The film making process allowed him to regain a sense of control that had been overshadowed for years by personal disputes. In recent reflections, Johnny Depp emphasized that his past life with Vanessa Paradis brought a sense of stable happiness. The observation expressed regret over family values he once overlooked. The acknowledgement acted as a reassessment of misplaced priorities. Johnny Depp recognized that the simplicity and stability he shared with Vanessa Paradis created an emotional foundation that professional success could not replace. This marked a clear shift in how he evaluates personal happiness after the crisis. In the current context, Johnny Depp stated that he no longer feels drawn to blockbusters. Stepping away from major franchises helped reduce the commercial pressure that followed him for decades. This decision signaled a redefinition of success. Johnny Depp believed that painting, music, and time with loved ones were enough to maintain stability. This perspective represented a movement away from proving himself toward preserving a balanced life. It reflected an inward priority after long upheavals. One of his most notable revelations was that he had forgiven Amber Heard. This expressed a desire to close a prolonged chapter of conflict and ease psychological strain. Forgiveness was directed toward personal healing rather than public resolution. Johnny Depp also emphasized the importance of learning to forgive himself. This marked a reassessment of earlier mistakes and acceptance of a long healing process. Self-forgiveness helped release the weight of self-blame that persisted after the lawsuit. His appearance at recent events showed a more grounded demeanor. Gray hair, a minimalist look, and an unhurried presence were seen as reflections of renewed balance. Public appearances remained selective and guided by clear intent. Johnny Depp attended Paris Fashion Week and the Red Sea Festival with greater confidence. These events served as selective points of engagement with the entertainment world. Limited visibility helped manage public expectations. For upcoming work, Johnny Depp is preparing two projects, Dayrinker and Ebenezer. These productions emphasize performance depth rather than scale, and his role choices reflect an adjusted career direction. Johnny Depp continued to place his children as his highest priority. Maintaining close relationships with Lily Rose and Jack stood as his main responsibility. He stated that their growth brought balance and motivation to preserve a stable lifestyle. Rumors of a possible return to Pirates have circulated informally. Johnny Depp neither confirmed nor fully denied them. The ambiguity indicated that he did not place strong emphasis on reclaiming his former position within the Hollywood system. The defining feature of his new phase was an approach free from the weight of fame-driven expectations. Each artistic activity aligned with personal need. This formed a complete departure from the period when he had to maintain global star status. Johnny Depp's rebirth followed a course of simplifying life, rebuilding inner strength, and prioritizing core relationships. This adjustment emerged after major collapses in reputation and finances. The phase demonstrated a stable transformation. Stepping away from the spotlight and turning to painting and music created a sustainable environment. The approach aligned with the need to protect mental health and limit negative public impact. This lifestyle has been maintained consistently. Johnny Depp's final acknowledgement showed the process of reconstructing personal values after the crisis. Concentrating on inner life rather than external achievement became a major turning point. It signaled that he had defined a long-term direction. Johnny Depp's journey illustrated how fragile the line between success and happiness can be. After many upheavals, he regained balance through a peaceful life, sincere relationships, and reconnection with himself. The experience stands as a reminder of the value of inner life over outward glamour. If you would like to follow more stories and analyses about Hollywood, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel with notifications enabled. Thank you for staying with us until the end of the content.